Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are so excited. Today, we have Barbara and I just got back from a trip, so we'll have to tell y'all that on one of our Monday Mavens of Motivation. But I want to tell you, I always forget, I'm Carol Henderson, and I have Life by Design, and I help you to look better, feel better, and live better. And I do that through nutrition and counseling's the wrong word, but listening and helping you to work through what might be bothering you. And so I just want to welcome you today. And I'm going to welcome my co-host, Barbara. I said Barbara Ellison, I need to say, because we have Barbara Beckley here too. So Barbara Ellison is always with me. So Barbara, do you want to tell everybody what you do?
Hey, hi there, everybody, and welcome to Thoughtful Thursdays. And I have tripod on my lap, so if you see a tail going by, you'll know it's my cat. Anyways, yeah, I'm Barbara Ellison, and I am founder of the Wellness Playroom, where wellness is not just about not being sick. It is about being the best ever version of you, physically, financially, emotionally. And so that's what you learn at the Wellness Playroom. Anyways, but I am so excited to have the other part of the BBs on. This is Barbara Beckley, my co-host with the mostest of our Time to Shine Happiness show. And we come on every week on Tuesday morning, and I just want to say kudos to Barbara Beckley for pushing me a little bit, but I pushed back a little bit. Because she wanted me to do the Time to Shine Happiness show. And I was like, I would love to do the Time to Shine Happiness show, but I'm not going to do it by myself. And she says, yeah, no. And I'm going to let her tell her side of that story. But it has been a blessing because we're coming up on 2 years together. And I am so excited to introduce you to my co-host, Barbara Beckley. Hi, Miss Barbara Beckley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I feel like I'm at home with my two other sisters. I really do. You two are just wonderful. Well, first, before I start, because Barbara's going to get on me if I don't do this. So my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I am the founder and CEO of Diamond Factor LLC, which is what I do is I help people find their purpose or really understand it more and really show up in their purpose. And then from that point, I help them with their visibility and doing one-on-one interviews, TV, streaming shows. I just feel like Barbara said, I push people. I'm like the cheerleader, say, yeah, you can do it, get out there. People need to know what you're doing because you're awesome, you're amazing, you're fabulous. And that's what I do. And then I make sure they're out there shining their talents and their gifts that they have. So Barbara, just real quickly. So yes, I asked Barbara, one of my shows are under my network, the Diamond Factor Experience Network. I asked Barbara to, have one of her shows, Time to Shine. Well, it was happiness.
It was happiness 101.
It changed. And I said, yeah, I want you to, because again, I'm about giving the visibility, helping people shine in their own talents. And she's like, okay, I want to do it, but not alone. So I was like, what? So she asked me to come on. And she she knows now, because I tell the story. I said, secretly, I was going to push back and just say, okay, Barbara, kind of nice, show up, or, and then I was like, she's like, I started liking it a lot. So I was like, no, there's no pushback. We're together now.
Yeah, we're the
because I wanted for you to put yourself, put you out there. But after we got together and we started doing the show together, it was just the synergy was there. So I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. So I'm glad that I didn't leave, and I'm glad you pushed back.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just so funny because I think it was about a year in that you told me that. And I went, I can see that in you. At the time I was like, oh yeah, because you are all about getting people visible. And like Barb said at the beginning, I have to remind her every once in a while to tell people who she is, because she's so focused on helping other people. And that's what I know and love about you. And I'm so glad I'm part of your community.
Well, and that happened the other day in her show. We were halfway through everything and she hadn't introduced herself yet. And so we all were going, Barbara, no, you. Barbara
me.
Beckley.
Oh, me,
Yeah. And the whole panel was going, Barbara, you need to tell everybody who you are. Remember that?
Yeah. You know,
Yes,
and
Barbara, now you got Carol, you got everybody on the panel reminding me to do it. It's not just you anymore. So, and then, so I got to remember that. But thank you for, making sure that I'm doing that too. So the visibility goes both ways. And that's what you talk. So that's what happens when you have people, like-minded people and friends and people that care will come, and remind you of that kind of thing. So thank you.
Exactly. You know, and that's what we have talked about so often, is that people think they're out there by themselves. And they're either afraid to get started. Oh, what am I going to do? Well, if you're afraid to get started, find somebody. That was to tell you the truth, me. It was like when Barb first, I said, oh yeah, that would be fun, but there's no way I'm going to do it by myself. So I was so grateful that she gave me that platform, but also that she was willing to do it. But now that's one of the things that I now teach people. Hey, if you're hesitant about doing something, like say you're and I'm going to tell on Carol for a second, because I like to do that. I tell on myself all the time. So once in a while, it's nice to tell on somebody else. Carol was one of those that we have been pushing her a little bit to do a workshop. No, and she wasn't doing it. And now all of a sudden it was like, she took my advice. She said, well, I said, it was like, because that's one of the things I tell people, find somebody to do it with you. And then
who did I find?
Who did you?
Regina Bergman, one of our other friends, has been telling me, I think 5 or 6 years that I've been in her mastermind. And she, the whole group saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I had closed my brick and mortar modeling agency and was kind of, I always say I was semi-retired. And she told me I had to quit saying that my mind was centering in on retired and not the semi. And so they kept saying, you can do this, online workshops, TV shows, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I had a hard time getting my mind around it. And then, we started talking about it, and Barbara had wanted to do one and didn't want to do it alone. And we hooked up. Now we're doing our second spring show. We have a makeup show coming up. And and then our
you got 3 shows now?
Well, the workshop. Wow. Yeah. And we have our Monday Mavens of Motivation. We have the Thoughtful Thursdays, which is today. And we also are the aging experts. And so we are actually having videos and shows for that. So those 3 different, so see what you did, Barbara Beckley, you multiplied yourself by how many times here?
I am loving this so much. I mean, I always say, if no one's not going to, because a lot of people wait on opportunities sometime, and I'm like, no, don't wait on it. Just create your own. And that's what you've done. You created the opportunity, and your gifts that needs to be out there for everybody. So that's why I'm loving it so much, because Barbara, I mean, you're gifted in so many different levels. And Carol, come on, with the health and everything, all what you've been doing in life, people need to know about that. So I'm glad that you say, you know what, forget this. We're just going to do a show. We're going to do a workshop. Let's get out there. Yeah.
And how many people our age want to know how to do their makeup? How many people do you know still do their makeup like they did when they got out of high school or learned in high school? I could almost tell you exactly within a 4 or 5 year span of when somebody graduated just by looking at them. And it's gotten better the last few years. But, back in the day when I was really out in that world, I mean, I could tell you. And because people stop learning, they get in a rut. They don't try new things. And so that's some of the stuff that Barbara Ellison and I are bringing in our shows. And that's why we want to bring people like Barbara Beckley on, because she has so much of a world that we don't know about. And we started our show just us chatting and talking over coffee in the mornings. And then we thought we want to interview people, because there's so many friends that we have that are just bubbling over with goodness and knowledge. So anyway.
And one of the things for me is that Barbara Beckley is amazing at getting people to implement. And we were talking before this show is that, I mean, I was a course junkie. I took course after course after course after course after course, always thinking, oh, this is going to be the course that's going to get me to the next whatever. And the thing is, I learned so much of the what to do, but not the how to do it. And that's what Barbara Beckley brings to the table. How to do it. And I have learned so much about the technology, the technology itself, but just wow, we can do this. It's that attitude of, wow. And if we flub up, oh, well, laugh about it and go on.
Part of life.
And that's exactly it. That's part of life. And just doing, like, I have researched so many things because we want to talk about stuff. Okay. And it's gotten me out of my comfort zone. And I think that's the biggest thing.
And when you really think about it, you always really doing something close to this. It just was like maybe, at your house or just friends or whatever. Yeah. And, you just have to say to yourself, okay, I have a lot of things that I want to teach. I have a lot of things I want to show. And I have to say, because of technology, because of Zoom, because of streaming, all those other products out there, I tell people, take advantage of it. And it's not that much. You don't have to spend that much to do it. So
many of them are free. You can get free. You can get free.
Yeah.
So but it's just, I think, taking the first step. And I think that's what you bring to the table, of helping people to take that first step.
Yeah. Because, I always want to, and just going back, because I know this is Thoughtful Thursday, and just real quickly, I just want to, just thank all the people that believed in me and seen something that I didn't even see. And I think that's what I say to myself, I want to pay it forward all the time, because so many people took the time, and I know it was rough. That's why I thank them so much. I'm like, thank you for being so patient with me, because I fought it, or I said no, or I was like, I'm not the one, because all my self-esteem, I had low self-esteem at the time and didn't speak that much. And a lot of people like, oh, really? Robert, you didn't speak? I'm like, I was very shy because of what happened when I was younger, bullying, all that kind of stuff. And it got me to a point where I didn't think I was important. I didn't think I was valued. And people seen something even more in me than what I didn't see. And they took the time to say, you know what, Barbara, I see that you have a lot of things to give, but you have to break out. You have to break out of yourself. And that's what it was all about, breaking out of myself. Not so much because people are going to talk about you forever. That's just, that's the outside noise, right? That's the noise. You don't have to listen to that noise. You'd be like, close up, bye. But when your inner noise, your inner voice is telling you can't do it, you're no good, you're not valued, then that's a whole nother issue challenge that you have to say, okay, I got to work with myself now, because now I'm beating myself up. It's not even the people say that anymore. It's like me. So that's what happened, where I grew out of that. And then I started saying, you know what? I want everybody else has gifts and stuff. I want them to know too. It was like I was like a little kid in the candy store, and I wanted everybody to know everybody's gifts. Like, yeah, come on, we got to get visible. People got to see you. So that's what got me to this point of making sure that people that's why I say understand your true gift, your purpose. And then from that point, we need to make people know that you're there, and that because you're saving lives. I would tell people, you're saving lives, Barbara and Carol. You really are saving lives with the health and understanding themselves and their body and the aging process and everything. I mean, look at you, beautiful. And when you tell me your ages, I just fall out like, really? Come on now, really? But then, you're just a poster child for that. And, people need to know that, because I didn't know it. You're teaching me, you're talking, I'm teaching you. You've been teaching me so much. So together, it's Thoughtful Thursday. I think for the people that helped me, and I think for the people that are encouraging me and showing me things that I didn't know now, is you and Carol, you and Barbara, you and Carol, CB. CBs.
Exactly. And it is just so fun to be able to see the process. Like when we first started the Time to Shine Happiness show, it was we just streamed to Facebook. That was it. And now look at, we're on E360 TV because
Yeah.
you took a bold leap.
Yes, that was another leap. You're right. That was a huge leap because, that's okay. Now you're saying, okay, I'm going to invest in this, not just for me, but for people that are coming, because I was like, okay, how can I give more visibility? Not just Facebook, not just YouTube. I want to make it bigger. And that's when I found, well, a friend of mine was on E360 TV, their show, and they basically told me about it. And even then they told me, I said, okay, that's interesting. Then I waited for like a month. See what happens.
Exactly.
And it came back around. As in fact, the owner of the show, the whole broadcasting, he came to me and he said, somebody told me that you were interested. I'm thinking to myself, the back of my mind, because I was like, why are they telling me? Why are they talking to him about me? But there's always a reason why things happen. And after he explained to me about it and said, Barbara, you can start with 2 days a week, because I was like, I don't know if then again, I don't know if I have time. Who want to bring on the show? What am I going to do? What am I gonna, all that stuff starts. So you hear all those list of excuses, really, just saying, no. And he
Now
finally
she has so many people on her show, she has to sometimes reschedule because everybody's
now
clamoring to be on her show.
So it went from, I don't know what kind of show, who to bring on, to, oh my God, my schedule, I need to, oh no, sorry. Yeah, so it's amazing how things happen. But like you said, you just have to take that next step and just trust in it, trust in the voice in you. And I always say God, because I know all of us believe in God, believe in what he's telling you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that this morning is, what's our highest calling? And our highest calling is to just, everything that we're doing is to demonstrate love. And so that others will see that love, and God is love, and to see that in us. Well, you know what, that our business is the same thing. And one of the things that we say all the time is, your faith will grow your business and your business will grow your faith, because you don't know what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, that was powerful. I like that. Yeah, you never know. Your faith with your business will grow your faith because you taking that next step. Just like with the network that I started, I was taking a step because I was scared. I'll tell people hard because I like to tell people where I was, because I know some people might be in that same place, and I want to encourage them to say, you know what, I was there. And then
I remember.
I was like,
I remember when you came on and said, I'm taking the leap. we did a couple of us like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so let's and to go live every week. Because so many is like, oh well, maybe we should start with recording, because then what, heaven forbid if we make a mistake. And then it was like, no, I think we did the first one recorded
and we didn't like it,
and then said, no, this isn't us. We need to go live.
Yeah.
And warts and all.
Yeah.
There have been
and all.
Some warts. Warts and all. When my cat knocks down my virtual background and she shows up, I'm surprising. She's lying very, very quietly right beside me today. Normally you see her going by.
Later in
and all the fun things that have happened on our show with our guests.
Oh, there was one time they couldn't hear us. They were like, I can't hear you. We're on live.
And we were on a live show, and you just, oh well. And then we've had guests that just said, oops, they didn't get there, they couldn't get on. And then you know what? But when you're live, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And you just laugh. And we've done a lot of laughing over these almost 2 years.
And we'll continue to. People respect, and they really like when you're just real. I mean, when you're just authentic. It's when you're trying to be all perfect and I gotta look right at, does the earrings, am I talking right? Am I talking okay? It's like, no, be you, because they appreciate that more, because they're like, okay, I'm not perfect either. I'm not perfect. So when you can show that, and showed up, being authentic on just, just that regular talk, people can, and then people feel comfortable in saying, you know what, maybe I can do that.
Right.
Maybe I can get on, maybe I can share.
Yeah. And we have had several guests on that had never done an interview show before.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
So nervous. And they were so nervous. And it was like, and then afterwards it was like, oh gee, this was fun. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to bring to this show. This is why Carol and I decided, well, no, I didn't decide.
Well, I'm glad Carol decided. Yes. Look at, she's like, yes, Carol, you are.
We're going to do it.
But it's fun. It really is fun. And, it brings out, one of my things is everybody tends nowadays to compare their whole 100% of their life to the 5% of the best life that people put on Facebook. You see these pictures, especially like people that travel a lot and go to exotic places. And I do have a friend that does that, but most people do it for vacation, or they may go 2 or 3 times a year if they, have the situation where they can. But that isn't true life for most people day in and day out. They don't sit in a resort, with the pool at their feet and the beach on past the infinity pool. So we have to realize that, life is real. We get out, we get our hands dirty. I mean, earlier today, I was building a chicken coop. So, it is. I mean, that I don't sit here in white all day long with my makeup on. Oops.
All right, so we have to let Carol tell a little bit of this, of her homestead. And one of the things that being on our panel, that another Barbara Beckley creation, our Diamond Factor panel that we do once a month, that has been such a fun thing that we just laugh, and it brings out, and all of a sudden things come out of our mouths and we go, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we did this? Well, one time that was Carol. I can't remember how the subject came up, something about getting chickens. And now all of a sudden Carol has chickens.
And a peacock.
But that one, and she has, and okay, now you're going to tell what else, she started out with getting chickens. So now what else do you have?
Well, we have lots of wildlife. We have turkeys and possums and raccoons and fox and bobcat. There is a mountain lion a half mile away that wanders around. Turkey, deer, dove, and quail. And so those are all wild. Oh, and squirrels. But then we have all our farmstead animals, the chickens, the peacock. And the peacock, we bought a wife for a wild peacock that hangs with the chickens. And but he hasn't come and found her yet. But they were honking at each other earlier today. So we're hoping we'll have a wedding soon, because we bought her for him. They'll both be wild. But it just, and then the bees. We kept bees when we lived in town, and we kept chickens when we lived in town. But we had a very large in-town lot. But now that we're out in the country, on the lake, on the prairie, we live in a I always say, if it wasn't on the prairie, it'd be a gated community. We have an HOA and all this stuff. And now we have animals, and they're not real happy about that. But in Texas, you can have animals even if you have an HOA. Chickens anyway. So yeah. But
it's one of it started on one of the panel shows. Carol
I didn't even realize that was when it started.
it was one of we said something about if we had, I think it was one of those shows that what would you do if you had, whatever, what would you like to do? And you mentioned saying, oh, I would get chickens again, because I used to have chickens. Why don't I have chickens? Well, all of a sudden, guess what? She has chickens.
Yeah.
So you never know
it's all you're doing, Barbara Beckley.
All Barbara Beckley's fault.
But the eggs are fabulous. The
eggs are fabulous. She brought me some eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, I took her eggs all the way to Utah on the plane.
See, that's
Hard boiled them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was going to
Yeah,
take
you're
them
fine.
fresh, okay, and make like scrambled eggs for breakfast for everybody. But she was saying hard boil them, and then so I did.
To make
And
sure that they're
absolutely delicious.
Wow.
Such a difference having
Eggs.
farm fresh eggs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, compared to, just going to the
Same.
store.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
I had a
different.
pink one.
Pink. Oh, it was a pink? It was pink?
It was a pink egg.
I have Easter eggers. They come out already colored.
Really?
Pink,
Wow.
blue, green, yeah, tan, dark, 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 dark chocolate. I mean, almost as dark as Barbara's jacket, but in a brown.
Really? So they just come out that way.
They come out that way. Yeah.
See, now they are that's I'll be like, wow.
Some are speckled. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And they all have personalities. But we didn't bring you on here to talk about me. So before we run out of time, Barbara, what word of wisdom would you have for our people? Because we have men and women that watch our show. So what would be your word of wisdom to our guests that you would want to tell them? I don't want somebody to go away without something special from you, because you've made such an impact in both my life and BarbaraEllison's.
The same here. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity for coming on your show, Thoughtful Thursdays. It's nice to be on the other end instead of doing the show. I'm on the show with others. But two things I would say real quickly is, first, really, really dig deep and don't be scared of showing your gifts, because they're here for a reason. A lot of people have different faiths. I believe in God. I know we do. You might have different faith, but all in all, the universe gave you this gift. God gave you this gift, how you want to put it, and it shouldn't be hidden. It shouldn't be hidden. It needs to go out there, not just for you to say, hey, this is who I am and stand strong with it, but also to make sure that other people know, because you never know who you're helping. And then the second thing I would say is, once you get that, just do it. Like the Nike commercial used to always say, just go out and do it, because the fear is going to be there all the time, because that's supposed to protect us, but not protecting us from ourselves. So why I say that, because when you start protecting from yourself, that's when you start not wanting to do certain things. So just go out there, do it, believe in yourself, believe in who you are, know that you are awesome, amazing, and wonderful, as I tell everybody, and just go out there and save lives through your gifts and through what you do.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, I had to mute. I had barking dogs.
Oh.
But anyways, so Barbara, tell everybody how to get in touch with you if you're looking to be more visible.
If you're looking to be more visible,
Barbara is the queen honcho of visibility.
Yes, if you want to be on the show, or just any kind of way you want to be visible, just go to www.barbarabeckley.com. I just go, and you can see me on all social medias, but I'm not going to name all that. It's too much. But just go to www.barbara.com and you'll reach me.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
If ever you've wanted to be on a TV show, reach out to us.
Yeah,
reach out.
We
have a lot of them. We all have ours. So yes,
we all have our shows. And
thank you again, ladies. I appreciate you.
Well, and before we go away, we want to make sure that you text 855-476-4845. 855-476-4845. It's on Barbara's screen. And to reach Barbara, you text SHINE to Barbara. Okay, SHINE. And to reach me, you text wellness to that number. And you'll see a whole plethora of things that we do and how we do it and how to get a hold of us. So it's like a whole whatever in your hand, a whole store of information. So anyway, yeah. Thank y'all so much.
One thing, I'd say one little thing. Just because we've got a couple of minutes left. One of the things that Barbara Beckley and I, and the three of us talked about ahead of time, was that so often people think that there's not enough room for everybody in the messaging. that you're competing with each other. There are 7 billion people on the planet. There's room for all of us. So if you have a message, call Barbara Beckley. Get it, get your message. So just say, hey, this is who I want to, what I want to talk about. Come on one of our shows. Come on Barbara and Beckley's and I shows. There's room for everyone.
Yes.
Let your light shine.
Yes.
Well, and we all three have an abundance mentality. And so we want to help people get started if that's what they need. We want to help them continue if that's what they need. We want to get the word out because and we do work primarily with women, but we work with men also because everybody has a message. And remember, sometimes your message grows out of your mess. If you don't have a test, you can't have a testimony. Okay.
Ooh, I love that.
So, yeah. So turn your
that
mess
note-
into a message. Huh?
Turn your mess into a message.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The message.
So
Yeah.
anyway, we will see y'all next week on Thoughtful Thursdays. You know how to get a hold of us, and we just look forward to seeing you. Don't forget, we've got the workshop coming up in April, and we have our Motivation Monday show, and we also have our aging experts that BarbaraEllison and I do. So there's shows on there also. So we'll see y'all. Bye.